wrestling fans, if you want to get right down to it, nothing really happened on this show. Absolutely nothing. Nothing of importance. Nothing to get us excited for Money in the Bank. I mean, we get to see Ronda Rousey on there. They're proclaiming this the biggest women's championship on Monday Night Raw history now. One second they're saying that. The next second they say the Raw Women's Championship. So Michael Cole, make up your mind. But whatever the case, Monday Night Raw history. Other than that, we saw some matches that led to Money in the Bank, which were just all the qualifiers having matches against themselves. And we saw a tag team matchup between the modern day Felhal Raja, Jinder Mahal, Elias versus Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins. All of that pretty much made up Monday Night Raw tonight. I mean, when you really look at it, that was it. We had all that, and that was pretty much it. Not a whole lot to digest happened on this show. We saw Bobby Lashley have another vanilla, plain, boring segment with Sami Zayn, in which Sami Zayn is getting more and 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 more over with us. And Bobby Lashley continues to just stand there. So I don't know if it's WWE's intent to just make us feel sorry and sympathetic with Bobby Lashley, and that's how we're supposed to get over with him, or what. But this entire rivalry is just making us like Sami Zayn better. And if there's anybody out there that's disputing that or feels differently about that, you let me know in the comments below. Now, Raw tonight, outside of that waste of a promo that we saw kind of right in the middle of the show between Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn, we saw a 6-woman tag team matchup in which Alexa Bliss teamed up with Ember Moon and Sasha Banks, and they took on the Riott Squad. Now, this is when WWE once again rewrote the rules. They always rewrite the rules. 1 minute the rules are this, the next minute the rules are that. The next minute the rules are this, the next minute the rules are that. Back to basics. Back to basics is what I say. I think a lot of people would agree with me on that. But whatever the case, Alexa Bliss gets hurt. Whether that's storyline or not still remains to be seen. So it's 2-on-3 handicap matchup for the rest of the match until all of a sudden, boom, Bayley injects herself. The ref allows it. Bayley to belly. 1, 2, 3. Bayley, Ember Moon, and Sasha Banks victorious. Now, Baron Corbin, who is pretty much, and they're not calling it this, but he's pretty much the heel co-general manager now, because he is there on TV and he's kind of directing orders that kind of what Stephanie McMahon would say. And he's telling Kurt Angle that if he does not do these things, then Baron Corbin's going to go above Kurt Angle and talk to Stephanie. So it's Baron Corbin and Kurt Angle as a tag team. as far as the authority figures are concerned on TV right now. Now, me personally, I wish that Baron Corbin, if he's going to get a push on television, it would be as a mid-card championship right now, not as an authoritative pain in the neck with Kurt Angle. I mean, I that's what I'm wishing, but it doesn't look like it's going to be that way for any time soon. But he told Kurt Angle that he should go and flip the decision because wrestlers don't inject themselves in the matches. That's not the way the rules are. You know, it's disqualification. Duh. So that's exactly what happened. And Kurt Angle reversed the decision, and the Riott Squad got the victory, which in reality, the only person that helped in that matter is Ruby Riott. No one else. What else did we see? A B-team number one contender. That's what we saw. Huge tag team battle royal. Oh, they like to always say they're huge. When in reality, you had two teams that stood out. And I can't believe I'd say that Curtis Axel and Bo Dallas is one of those tag teams, but they are now. You had them, and you had Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre. And we all kind of knew that they weren't going to win. It's a shame because that rivalry, Dolph Ziggler and Drew McIntyre versus the Woken Deleters or Deleter of Worlds or whatever they're calling themselves now, would be a much intriguing matchup as far as actual wrestling is concerned, rather than what we're going to get at Money in the Bank. As far as entertainment-wise, as far as putting on just a funny, entertaining match, what we're going to get at Money in the Bank, that's what you're going to see. This isn't going to be no special, spectacular match by any sense of the word. I really hope they do not pull the trigger and give the B team the tag team championship. You all let me know what you're thinking about that in the comments below. And tell me if you think they're going to give them the tag team championship in the comments below. Now, as far as the tag team match, since we're speaking of tag teams here, that opened up the show, which it opened it up because Elias was singing and he was kind of telling everybody what he's going to do to Seth Rollins at Money in the Bank. And then he told that he was going to be Intercontinental Champion, and he was making fun of what he did last week and all this stuff. Then Seth Rollins comes down. Then they waffled each other with the chair and the guitar. And all of a sudden, Jinder Mahal came down, and they started beating Seth Rollins up. Then Roman Reigns came down, in which Roman Reigns got an okay reaction. I will admit that. But of course he would. He's saving the best character on Monday Night Raw right now, Seth Rollins. So, of course, he would get a really good reaction. However, that's what WWE's trying to do. Get Roman Reigns to give a big fan reaction right now by teaming him with Seth Rollins. It's not going to work. It didn't work when they had the Shield teamed up, and before Dean Ambrose got hurt and all that jazz. It's not going to work now. Because as soon as they got in there and all that ended, and he stepped inside the squared circle and everything got back to normal, Roman Reigns' reaction got back to what it usually is, which is boos and only a few cheers. Big difference, WWE. Huge difference. So, no, you don't need to do that junk. But tonight we got Elias and Jinder Mahal going over in the matchup. The DDT that Seth Rollins took on the chair was just looked like it hurt. It looked painful, honestly. And Elias got a well-needed win over Seth Rollins. But, you know, it looks very good now for him going into Money in the Bank. And I hope next week they have a good build for them as well. As far as Jinder Mahal and Roman Reigns is concerned, later on they had a promo in which Jinder Mahal said that he has a wake-up call for Roman Reigns, and Roman Reigns has changed, and Roman Reigns is lost, and all this stuff. And then Roman Reigns stated that Jinder Mahal hasn't done anything since he came to Monday Night Raw, and that he just asks for things all the time. That's all Jinder Mahal does. And I almost just busted out laughing when I heard this. Because how can you have Roman Reigns say that when week after week after week after week we heard Roman Reigns come out and moan and groan and gripe and complain and moan and groan and gripe and complain about how he is being held down by the people in the back and about how he wants Brock Lesnar and he wants this and that. From like the time WrestleMania was over until the Greatest Royal Rumble, he was stating that. And then he was just gifted it. So the fact that he had the notes to come out and say that Jinder Mahal just does that is just downright hilarious. That's just my opinion. WWE Creative, you're making him sound worse by the day. Roman Reigns, buried by the people who write his script on Monday Night Raw tonight. Braun Strowman versus Bobby Roode. Well, congratulations. Bobby Roode gets buried again. We all knew this was going to happen. Braun Strowman has to look strong. Okay, whatever. Kurt Hawkins loses to a jobber. He is 0-200 now. Congratulations, Kurt Hawkins. And besides that, not a whole lot happened on this show besides, the Ronda Rousey, Nia Jax situation that happened because Nia Jax, apparently injured Natalya during the match, or Natalya got injured during the match when she stepped over Nia Jax and landed wrong or something, and then Samoa dropped for a 1-2-3. Then Ronda Rousey came in and stated that Nia Jax needed to just get out of the way, and we saw the mean, fierce Ronda Rousey in her eyes, and they had their stare down. in the center of the ring, the Vince McMahon stare down that he loves to take that picture of. But the fact of the matter is this. This is being booked as the biggest women's championship of all time, the greatest women's championship of all time, Monday Night Raw history, Raw Women's Championship history, whatever the case. A few things have got to change for me to start taking this serious. Nia Jax has got to stop smiling. She's got to stop coming out there and smiling and being all happy and all this jazz. Gotta stop doing that. How am I supposed to take you serious that you can go out there and beat down the baddest woman on the planet? And you come out and you're smiling. Just because you're big doesn't mean I'm going to believe that you can do that. You know? Just because of your size does not mean that I'm going to believe that you can do that and that you are mowing down people like Natalya and other people. That doesn't mean anything to me. Stop your smiling. Look mean. Look like you are an actual unstoppable force. That's just my opinion. And then Ronda Rousey, that look that you gave to Nia Jax when you were kind of standing next to Natalya tonight, you need to have that look on your face all the time. And other than that, Kevin Owens versus Finn Balor. And the only thing I want to say about this is WWE, we saw Finn Balor, whether this was on purpose or mistake, because it really looked like that Kevin Owens got tripped up twice on the ladder, and someone just told Finn Balor to go and kick him down and then do the coup de grace at the very end. Whatever the case, if Finn Balor was supposed to be up there or not, we want to see WWE, Finn Balor, get rewarded for hard work. Whether that's Money in the Bank, whether that's Universal Championship opportunity, whether that's Intercontinental Championship gold around his waist, whether that's something besides a mid-card good matchup where he ends up losing, or a main event where he ends up either losing or winning, but it goes nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Tonight, he won, but it was by disqualification. And that was Monday Night Raw. So, not a whole lot happened in this show. You know, B team is number one contenders. Kurt Hawkins lost to a jobber. Elias and Jinder Mahal versus Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. Another boring segment between Bobby Lashley and Sami Zayn. That was pretty much it. And Nia Jax and Ronda Rousey. And that was your Monday Night Raw review. Let me know what you're thinking in the comments below. Go ahead and hit the subscribe button and hit the bell for all notifications. Go and watch anything you missed. Raw and SmackDown live reviews from last week. And this is the greatest Money in the Bank of all time. ... Go and watch that podcast. Go and watch What's Hot in the World of Professional Wrestling, Episode 2. All that, plus everything else you've missed. And until I see you tomorrow for SmackDown Live Review, this is Webby, and I'll catch you on the other side. Talk to you later.